All right, up here on Mr. and Mrs. Brown on Firestone Place, we have a leak occurring when it rains hard. I can see there's been a couple of repairs up here before. I'm over top of the garage. There's that dormer on the front. And this wall and valley is the area that the leak is occurring. And I'm going to inspect the whole roof, but one of the things that I'm looking at right now is the ridge vent here. And as I look at the ridge vent, it's secure, it's tight. As I said, you can see that there's been some repairs here before, but one of the things I don't like about the way they built these houses over here in River Creek, a lot of these builders, they didn't flash this brick on the outside, and so I can't see behind there to see if this brick was flashed properly. And this is definitely this leak, and this is a problem. I'll show you a picture of some proper counter flashing, but what we need to do is we need to take the shingles out up this wall, and then we need to ice and water guard it, and then we need to fabricate and put step flashing, new shingles and counter flashing in along this wall. And you asked the question, how can we know that this isn't going to leak again? If we do that, we know that this isn't going to leak again, because this is a problem. And while we're here, I'll go ahead. I just believe in doing things extra well, seeing as how it's not a tremendous amount of cost more, and we'll put a clear waterproof masonry sealant over this brick also, just to make sure that this driving rain and it's not absorbing any water while we're up here. It can't hurt. So again, remove the shingles down this wall and ice and water guard and put new shingles up. These shingles are just charcoal timberline shingles. They won't match exactly, but they'll be very, very close. The good news is you can't see it from the ground, because we couldn't see that part from there. So as I continue to come up here, I'm walking up this valley onto the, this is now I'm over the main house, and I'm coming up over the back, and we have two pipe collars. Now these pipe collars are plastic pipe collars. They are not metal. So here's the deal. They are going to crack. It's going to be up to you if you want to. What I would suggest is, while we're here, we do what we would call a roof tune-up. So that includes tightening all the ridge vents, sealing the ridge vents, sealing the seams on the ridge vents. Of course, we'll fix the leak, and I'll break it up so that the roof tune-up is separate so you can see the cost. But we'd replace those pipe collars, seal around that square vent is called a hood vent. This furnace stack right here, we would go ahead and reseal around it, nail it down, seal the watertight collar. Your power fan, you can see these shingles around the back of this are all cracked up. There's holes in the shingles. I don't know why this is like this, but it just wasn't done well. My suggestion is we remove the shingles around this power fan, ice and water guard it, and then re-shingle around this one power fan. The satellite dish, always the brackets can take water, so we reseal around that bracket. And then there's an old bracket here that we just need to remove and replace the shingle where the hole goes through there. And then I want to be very careful walking up here on this main roof, but as I come up to the top, we'll see this other power fan. Now this power fan looks a lot better. I don't think that there's a need to rework the shingles around it, but we definitely want to seal around it. You got more ridge vent up here, and then you've got another chimney. So we would go ahead and we would, or a chimney, not another chimney, a chimney, and we would go ahead and reseal the corners on that chimney flashing and seal that chimney flashing. The other thing we got going is what we call a flex crown. The top of your mortar cap's very hard to pick up with the camera, but there's a top on that chimney. It's called a mortar cap, and it's cracking. Nobody ever pays attention to it because it faces the sky. You don't even think about it. What happens is water, especially in the wintertime, gets through that mortar cap and gets inside of that brick, and it freezes and expands and blows out the brick. It actually causes severe damage. A few $100s to replace and put a flex crown on that chimney cap while we're here, and it can save thousands in problems down the road. So those are the things I would include in the roof tune-up. Again, the ridge vent up here, the ridge vent here, all, let me be careful as I turn around here, all would be included. Tightening it, sealing this other furnace stack, this larger furnace stack here. And if we do those things, I am fully confident. Now, one thing I want to be sure that you understand, with a roof that's 14 years old and obviously every day getting older, we can do a roof tune-up and we can guarantee the work we do. In other words, I can guarantee those pipes won't leak. I can guarantee this fan won't leak. I can guarantee the furnace stacks won't leak, and that the ridge vent is tight and it isn't going to blow off. But I can't guarantee that a shingle might not blow off somewhere else, or that a leak couldn't pop loose in a valley, break out and pop up in a valley somewhere around that front copper dome, for example. But what we can do is, just like a vehicle, we can take care of it, we can maintain it, we can, so rotate and balance the tires, for an example. Unless you run over a nail, your chances of getting a flat, and just comparisons, your chances of getting a roof leak are much slimmer if you take care of these things. So again, we'll go over the cost for just the initial leak fix, and then an option for what it would